Hello everyone, I'm your host BlackTuna, welcome back in another video. First of all, I would like to apologize for not having the webcam on in this video, but the house is a mess because we are packing everything up because we are moving to UK, and this is also why this video is coming out now, because as you know, I always love to make Genshin Impact videos as late as possible so that I have a lot of content to talk about, but the new character Eula and other content, they all come out basically in the time window where I will be moving, so I won't be able to record anything, and that's why this 1.4 impressions video is coming out right now. So for a while you will probably not be seeing any other video, but rest assured that I'm still going to record the new Genesis Phantasy Star Online 2 video and also the Blash Unleashed video before I set out for UK. Anyway, without further ado, let's just jump into the 1.4 update for Genshin Impact, and immediately the game had a lot to offer when you jumped in the new update. And this is one aspect of Genshin Impact updates that I've always felt strongly about, because I always want to have some good, substantial story content as soon as the update rolls out. And again, I was afraid jumping into the 1.4 that just like in the previous updates, they would relegate the story content at the end of the update. But I was wrong. In fact, you will be able to partake in the Zhongli story quest, and yeah, it's not the main story quest, but it's a good chunk of story nonetheless, because anyway, it ties in with the main character's story and the questions that he had for Venti and Zhongli, but also lets you understand a little bit more about Zhongli, because of course it's his story quest. Not only that, but this story quest introduces one new world boss. And I'm not gonna lie, this new world boss actually took me quite a lot of time to adjust to, mostly because he has tons of AoEs that are not dodgeable at all. So if you want to effectively counter this enemy, you will need some shield characters in your team. For example, with Noel, I had no issue at all later on when I understood how the mechanics work, although in the beginning he kicked my butt pretty well. Regardless, the design of the boss itself, it's quite impeccable. Now, some people argue that it looks like a fat lizard, and yeah, I agree, it does. But I think that's the whole point of it. I mean, not all enemies have to look the same, and I think he looks like an evolution of the Primo Geowish hat. Also, the fact that every time you face him, he's gonna have two different elements, it's a really interesting mechanic, and elements actually change the moveset and the abilities that he's gonna use against you. It's not just a simple elemental swap, it's completely different attack patterns that you have to adjust to. So yeah, overall, this boss is a solid addition to Genshin Impact, and also the fact that now the first 3 world bosses in a week only cost you 30 original resin instead of 60, well, that's also a great addition as well. Still talking about new bosses, we have the Cryo Hypostasis, and now again, just like the other Hypostasis, it shares some similarities with the others, but also has its own unique quirks and boss mechanics. Now, the boss is not strong at all. With my Hu Tao, I'm able to just destroy him in just a few seconds, and this was after I learned how the boss works and how you have to manage his attacks. But overall, it was needed because of course you need to have an hypostasis for every single element in the game, I guess. So yes, another solid addition. I think it's gonna give some trouble to new players, but once you get a good strong pyro character, I believe you won't have any issue at all. Talking about new pyro characters, we have Yanfei. Now, I have not pulled for the Yanfei or Zhongli's banner, if you will, because again, I'm trying to save for Eula and other possible characters that will come out in the future, so I'm trying to pick my battles. Anyway, I still had the chance to try Yanfei in the character trial, and I have to say she looks like a very solid pyro 4-star character. Strong AoEs, high DPS. Now again, I haven't had the chance to try her in other team combos, but you know, like any other 4-star characters, I believe that if you build them well enough and you put them in a solid team, they can pop off easily. It's also cool that you get to know a little bit more about Yanfei immediately when you start the Serenity Pot quest. The Serenity Pot quest is of course the quest that allows you to have your own domain, your own housing system, and it ties well with Yanfei, with her character, her background, her job, and so on and so forth. So yes, you do get to have a little bit of a her story content despite not having a straight up story quest for Yanfei. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Serenity Pot quest, despite having some good dialogues with Yanfei and of course letting you know more about the character, was a little bit, you know, the usual delivery quest, if you will. Go to point A, talk to this guy, then go to point B, talk to this guy, then go back to point A because you have to give new information to the other guy. So it's a lot of this. But in the end, the final reward is actually quite good because of course you get your own realm, your own domain where you can build your house, and the housing system is actually fantastic. Now, I'm not much of a builder myself, but I'm spending every day a little bit more time to try and make my domain a little bit nicer. And the thing is that the more you level up your domain, the more areas you will unlock, and you will have more space available to put more furniture and so on and so forth. Now, I'm expecting future events to have also more furniture for you, more exclusive furniture, but regardless, you can still craft a ton of furniture right now, and there's really no shortage of assets. Plus, from what I've seen on YouTube, there are people creating some sort of Bitcoin farms in their houses, and if you're curious about this, just Google Genshin Impact Bitcoin farm, you will definitely find something about it. But yeah, I feel like anyway, housing is a great addition to Genshin Impact. It's something that I really didn't know I needed, but now that I have it, I spend a lot of time in it and it's quite enjoyable. And last but not least, I would like to talk to you briefly about the new hangout events, and I'm glad to report that, I don't know if they listen to me, of course not, but probably other people in the community, I think they probably listen to these people, and in fact these new hangout events feature more gameplay than the previous ones. Previously the Noel one was the only one featuring solid gameplay in it, but now even the Diona one has, and also the Diona hangout event has a pretty solid message as a foundation of the event itself. And plus, all these events, especially the one with Noel, makes me wonder, will they add in the future different versions of the same characters? For example, we know now that Noel is a maid of the Knights of Favonius, but what if in the future they add a new Noel that is actually part of the Knight of Favonius and has different moveset, different abilities, of course different outfits and aesthetics? Who knows, that would actually be a great addition. And once again, big up for the hangout events, and I want to remind you all that of course these ones are going to get better and better the more the time goes on. So yeah, I guess that so far this is pretty much everything that has been featured in the 1.4 update, at least up until the recording of this video. Again, unfortunately Eula is not out yet, and she's gonna be out together with other events exactly in the time frame when I won't be available to do videos for a while, so unfortunately this is gonna suffice for the 1.4 update, but I'm looking forward to your guys' opinions in the comments down below, because again I believe they are actually doing a good job with this update, with the 1.4 update, and it seems like they are learning step by step, and every update is becoming better than the previous one. Let's remember that, for example, in the 1.2 we had the event in Liyue, and then the event in Mondstadt in the subsequent update was substantially better. So I guess they are improving, they are learning from what the community wants, I guess, and it's good that they are listening to feedback, or hopefully they're listening to feedback. I don't know, maybe they just got good ideas that resonate with what the community wants. Anyway, this is everything that I had to tell you today. Please, if you enjoyed the video, do click the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the 1.4 update, if you're going to pull for Eula or save for other characters in the future, and I will see you again, as always, in the next videos.